Mega Tyranitar will be available in raids in Pokemon Go until about August 4th. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about just how useful Mega Tyranitar is in Pokemon Go. Like how powerful it is the Mega bonus worth it, does it have a unique type, do you really need the Mega Tyranitar? And there is a little bias here, you know, Tyranitar is one of my all-time favorite Pokemon, but I'll do my best to give you a pragmatic review of the Mega Tyranitar. Pulling up the DPS TDO spreadsheet here on GamePress, you can see that Mega Tyranitar is the best Mega Dark Pokemon in the game. Using a double Dark moveset, Mega Tyranitar's got more DPS and more TDO, total damage output, compared to the other Mega Dark Pokemon. Then when it comes to just Dark Pokemon in general, the damage per second is only beaten out by Shadow Tyranitar, and it's only by like 0.43 DPS, so it's not even that significant. And then when you consider the fact that Mega Tyranitar gives the Mega bonus to all the other Dark type attackers in the raid, yeah, Mega Tyranitar is just super good. You know, the overall rating, which combines the damage per second and the TDO for like a metric for overall goodness, yeah, you can see Mega Tyranitar blows the other Dark type Pokemon out of the water. Now, if you're familiar with raid optimization in Pokemon Go, you'd know that Dark type Pokemon and Ghost type Pokemon have effectively the same coverage. You're going to be using Ghost and Dark type Pokemon to counter the Psychic and Ghost type raids. So comparing Dark types exclusively to other Dark types isn't exactly the whole picture here. So to give you a better portrait of where Mega Tyranitar stands against its Ghost type brethren, I'm going to simulate this against Psychic type raid bosses. And here you can see pretty plainly that when we're fighting a Psychic type raid boss, the Ghost type Pokemon are going to have higher damage per second than the Mega Tyranitar. And that's mostly due to the fact that they have higher attack stats and generally better value moves for raiding. But you will notice that Mega Tyranitar does have twice the total damage output, basically way more tankiness than these flimsy Ghost types. And the raid boss that I'm comparing to in question is using neutral damage, not Psychic type attacks. Dark type Pokemon doubly resist Psychic type damage, so that would make Mega Tyranitar even more tanky in this fight, especially when you consider that Mega Gengar would take super effective hits from Psychic type damage, making it even less tanky. So as far as overall combat value goes, Mega Tyranitar is quite useful for fighting raid bosses, even when compared to the sneaky Ghost type Pokemon. One thing that does work against the Mega Tyranitar, though, is how the Mega XL Candy bonus is applied for raids. If you're fighting a raid boss, it's a Ghost type raid boss, let's say, you'd probably be better off bringing your Mega Gengar or your Mega Banette if you want to get XL Candy for that raid boss, because you have to be the same type as the Pokemon you're trying to get the candy for. Only Ghosts can get the bonus for Ghosts. This Dark type cannot get the bonus for a Ghost type Pokemon. And when it comes to a Psychic raid boss, let's say you're trying to get some Mewtwo XL candy, well then you'd be better off using the Mega Alakazam with Psycho Cut and Shadow Ball, because it's also a Psychic type Pokemon, so you're fighting it, it's Psychic type, you want to get the Mewtwo XL candy, you have to use a Psychic XL Pokemon. Just to clarify also, you don't have to have the Mega Pokemon in your battle party, you just have to have it Mega evolved. But anyway, the point I'm trying to get across here is, as far as like XL gathering for raid bosses, that overall kind of raid utility, Dark type Pokemon are kind of not feeling too hot there. And then when it comes to using a Dark type to fight other Dark type Pokemon, well, Dark types are weak to fighting, so more often than not, you're going to be using your Machamp army. If you're thinking about a Rock type Pokemon that you're trying to get XL candy for, Fighting type Pokemon, once again, are going to be stealing the spotlight here. So you could have it evolve to get that bonus, but as far as what you're using in combat, it's probably not going to be the Mega Tyranitar. So these are some counts against it. Then when Mega Tyranitar is compared to Rock type raid attackers, you will notice that it doesn't have quite as high damage per second as the Rampardos and the Mega Aerodactyl. A large part of this is because we are locked to the Stone Edge and they have Rock Slide to work with. Multi-bar charge moves are almost always better than single bar charge move in raids, so kind of sucks for Mega Tyranitar, but you can see that it's not trailing too far behind in DPS, and it does have way more tankiness than the Mega Aerodactyl does for raids. So for overall combat power, yeah, Mega Tyranitar is definitely on top here. Another thing to mention though is Mega Aerodactyl does have a bit more utility than the Mega Tyranitar, because if you're fighting a flying type raid boss and you want to get that flying XL candy from them, well, Mega Aerodactyl is sub-flying type. So as far as overall utility goes, I'm going to mark Mega Aerodactyl a bit higher than the Mega Tyranitar, but for the foreseeable future in this game, these are going to be our only two rock type Mega Pokemon. I don't know when we're going to see Mega Diancie, right? So it's still going to be useful to pick up just so you've got that option to have a second Pokemon to Mega Evolve for events. So overall, for your account strength, Mega Tyranitar is looking pretty mid. Positives that it brings to the table is that it's a very powerful, formidable raid attacker, and it is a dark and rock type Pokemon that you can evolve to get XL candy bonus during events, such as Adventure Week. Rock type Pokemon are spawning. You want to get more XL candy for capturing your Credillies, your Bastiodons. In the future, we're going to get XL candy for the Carbinks. Mega Tyranitar does provide that bonus. That said, Mega Aerodactyl is already a rock type Pokemon. So if you already have a Mega Aerodactyl, then the need for this second Mega Rock type Pokemon is significantly lower than it would be otherwise. Same thing goes for being a dark type Pokemon. And then when it comes to getting XL candy from the raid bosses that you're fighting, other Pokemon are going to do it better than Mega Tyranitar, unfortunately. The ghost types get the bonus for the ghost types. The Alakazam can get the bonus for the psychic types. And then when it comes to flying types, Mega Aerodactyl can get the bonus for that too. And if you're fighting other dark or rock type Pokemon, well, the good old Machamp and Terrakion squad are just going to do it so much better that you may as well front them and have your Mega Tyranitar or Mega Dark / Rock Pokemon sit on the bench while they do all the heavy lifting. So overall, I love Tyranitar, one of my all-time favorite Pokemon, and I'm going to do my best to try to capture this thing and get the Mega just out of pure love for the Tyranitar. But if you already got the Mega Rock and the Mega Dark, Mega Tyranitar isn't the biggest priority for your account. And if you're wondering what the best counters are to the Mega Tyranitar Raid boss, I'll look no further than Pokebattler.com. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It is a Rock Dark Pokemon, so it has two weaknesses to fighting. So fighting type attacks rip right through it. Even like a psychic type Pokemon here that is using fighting type attacks, it's going to be one of the best attackers for this Rock Dark Raid. And because of this doubled up weakness, Pokebattler estimates that it takes about 2 trainers to easily duo it. You can see the estimator here is estimating 1.10, which means it's like a person and a tenth using level 40 Pokemon that are featured here. So a very easy duo, and it is a possible solo too if you've got your account built for it. So if you see that Tyranitar walking around and you at least got one friend with you, you may as well beat that thing up, get your rewards for the day, and work your way towards a Mega Tyranitar. But like I said, overall value is a little bit low, so if you happen to miss out on this thing, it's not the end of the world. So that's about all I gotta say right now about Mega Tyranitar. If you got any questions on this content, of course, comment below, let me know what's up, and I'll be happy to help you out. And if you enjoyed this kind of content, you want to see more like it, well, make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. I'd also like to give a special shout out to these Patreon supporters. If you want to support Swagman on Patreon, link in the description. And it has the highest overall rating as far as dark Pokemon go in Pokemon Go. that